Right, spending our money should be fun, right? It shouldn't be something that just sucks all the joy out of us. And that's why I am Jules the budget nerd, because budgeting is the thing that's going to help you accomplish that goal. I love to teach families how to eliminate debt so that they can have the life of their dreams. But also, I struggle with ADHD, and I understand how challenging it could be to struggle with impulse buying, the emotional spending, that kind of stuff, and just plain planning things, right? So I myself find myself in one extreme or the other. I'm super spontaneous or have everything detailed out. So stick around if that's like, yes, I hear you. Today, I want to, and this is a body doubling session. So we're going to have some time to work on our budgets together alongside each other. But I like to start out with a tip that helps me to kind of deal with the fact that sometimes we see things and we're like, I want that, but is it really something I want? Is it something I need? Or is there something else that I can do to accomplish that? So what I mean by that is I just go through a little checklist in my head, and I want to teach that to you today because it's helpful to cut down on some of the impulse buying or the emotional spending. And I'm going to talk about that in other future videos too. But I just talk about this in episode 25 of the Debt Rebel podcast, which I'll link in the notes for you. But sometimes our emotions can get in the way. And so going through this checklist has helped me to stay on track and stay on budget. So there's three quick questions that you can ask yourself and will help you assess if it is a need, if it's something that you're like, okay, it's kind of in the middle, or if it's just something that you want and you're feeling maybe it's that dopamine rush that you want, or maybe it's something else that you need, but you're using money to fill that need. So first off is, does this help me? Does this keep me alive or safe? So that speaks to a need. All right. And I talk about that in the survival mode budgeting in my coaching program. But if it's something that keeps you alive or safe, it's a need. So something like the roof over your home, the roof over your head. So making sure that you're able to get your rent or your mortgage paid. The next question is, does this make life easier? And you know what? Sometimes we will seek out things because they are said to make our life easier. And then sometimes we find out that they don't. But if it's something that's going to make our life easier, so like for myself, I know how important meal planning is because I need to eat. So I have an app that I use that's very helpful for that. Does it make life easier? It's not necessarily something that I need, but it does make my life easier. And then the third question is, does this feel good right now? And that question right there, it will tell you that that is a want. And so another way to phrase that is, how will this affect my life a year from now? And when I think about it, I'm like, oh my gosh, that's like so far in the future. But if it's something that's going to help you get you closer to your goals, so like making a budget, but if it's something that's like, you know what, really need this. Oh my gosh, I can't even think of something right now. Like, what was the last thing I impulse buyed? Or that was like filling something that I didn't necessarily need, but it's something I wanted. I'll give you another example. So I bought some exercise bands because I've been dealing with some mobility stuff. I'm trying to take better care of my body. And so, yes, was it keeping me alive? Well, it's not life or death, but it was making my life easier because I could move easier and it aligns with my goals. Was it something I wanted? Yeah. So does that make sense? Kind of going through some of those things to just help you evaluate if it's something that can wait until later. Is it something that I am filling a need because I'm bored, which is something that happens to me? I don't get bored because I always tell my daughter only boring people are bored, but I need something that's going to give me that rush that I'm like, yes, I want that. Or I need to accomplish something. So sometimes I will buy things when I'm tired, that kind of stuff. So we'll talk about that in a future video. But anyway, long story short, go through those three questions and see if those things will help you align your financial spending with what matters most to you and your families. Now is our time that we're going to pop into our budgets, maybe look over some of those things, maybe look at your last few purchases and see, do they qualify in that need, want category, or is it kind of on the fence? So maybe look through your last 3 to 5 transactions and see, are there some changes that you can make in the future that align better with your goals? All right. And remember, it's progress over perfection, and we'll see you in a few. Okay. So just quick check in on those needs versus wants. Remember, this isn't about shaming yourself into submission with your money and your spending and stuff. It's just awareness and just having some clarity and going, you know what? That wasn't what I planned on doing. And so when we start to see patterns and things like that, we can make adjustments and we can make accommodations for ourselves so that we can align our spending with what matters most to us and our family. So, whether you looked at those last few purchases and you're like, yep, that was great, or maybe we need to make some changes, now you have some information so that you can make more informed choices for your next few purchases. So, hopefully that was helpful for you today. And remember, there's no shame or guilt allowed in budgeting, it is just information so that we can continue to make more informed choices for our next opportunity to spend our money. So, thank you so much for joining me today. If you are interested in learning more about some more live accountability like this, we do this every single month inside the Alliance Coaching membership, and I would love to see you in there. I'll put some of that information in the notes so you can check it out. All right, see you in the next video.